Conspiracy theories are a way of making sense of the world. They're a way of explaining what governments do, what authorities do, what groups do, what corporations do. And in that sense, they're obviously a very old phenomenon. I'm an engineer, and for the last 15 years I've been working on the impact of the internet in terms of economics, its cultural, social, political and other impacts. And so one of the questions that fascinates me about this subject is, has the net actually made much difference in relation to the generation and dissemination and power and influence of conspiracy theories? This is an interesting area because there's an awful lot of opinion about it, but not much evidence. On the face of it, the argument is that the internet must make conspiracy theorizing much more prevalent, much more common than the rest of it, because of the obvious affordances of digital technology in a world where anybody can have an idea and become, through a blog or a social network, a global publisher of that idea without having to go through editorial gatekeepers and the usual filters that in the past, in the old publication systems, ecosystems of the past, have determined who got published and who got heard and who not. You'd have thought, and people do think, that, well, the internet surely must make this much more fertile ground for conspiracy theorizing. That may be true, but at the moment nobody really knows. And there are counter-arguments. For example, the fact that anybody can publish anything on the net also means that anybody can debunk what's published easily. So we have a lot of opinions and speculations about the impact of the internet in this area, and that's one of the things I want to explore. I want to know, in other words, whether the net has made any difference and whether we can find evidence for a view about that. The other thing is that we can do some, in a way, historical experiments. We can say, well, let's look at conspiracy theories in the pre-internet era, something like the JFK assassination, for example, and the ones in the post-internet era, for example, those surrounding the 9/11 attacks. Are there significant differences, and how might we describe and analyze those differences? The other thing that really attracts me about this project is the subject is intrinsically interdisciplinary, and so I'm excited about working with colleagues from other disciplines. For example, one of the big areas of debate in the study of the internet is whether or not it has actually expanded what Jürgen Habermas called the public sphere, an area of rational discussion which has political impact. That's a really interesting question. It's one that hasn't, I think, been properly explored. And so I welcome the possibility of working with David Runciman on questions like that. And I'm hoping that we get some fruitful insights from crossing that disciplinary boundary.